I don't want to. I don't want to be awkward. Then I spend throwing his whole day off. I know. His whole probably.
Oh. No, it's not.
You throw it.
Oh, then I guess I'm not taking it off.
You're right. You're right. That's why you so short. You were not.
Oh, that was my glory.
Sorry. I got it's not next week. Oh my God.
But the thing is that I know that October 30th girls' day. Here I get it. I guess the thing that's how you.
I mean,
But I have what is I am so our readers
For making
trying to think of something
pictures. Can't even tell you.
All right.
Okay, wait a minute though. Oh, I did something good. Woo! I tell you, I get the budgets wrong all the time. No, I want the tables back. We're gonna move them back after.
I am. No, that.
I just picture
I don't know. Well, we're making sure. What did you say? Something about a word hot?
that's fine.
One something or somewhere. No, that's not that. He doesn't use them. He doesn't use them.
Here in the world.
Oh, oh, that was started the team meeting.
That's why I don't start to.
You're supposed to give us the song, not your name.
Right. Lynn. Oh, yeah. All right. You know, normally I'm not super excited when nobody takes the front row. Today, I'm so very excited because it feels like it's right in my lap. Super close. So thank you all for making one of these seat decisions today. Appreciate that. Yay. Second rows first row. Love it. All right, we have a special gonger today. We always call out somebody to start our meeting, and today, you didn't know I was going to do this, but I want to thank you. There are 2 additional Bold scholarships coming today, courtesy of this woman here. How much are they for?
$200 each.
$200 each. So, what more information to come on the recipients of those, but you are not only a great partner for us, but you're also super generous, and I just wanted, I couldn't let another day go by without acknowledging that for you. So you're our official gonger of the day. Get the gong award. That happens too, and yeah, when you're good at something, just remember, people ask you to do it again. So I liked that. All right, so we're gonna start our Keller Williams team meeting, and I cannot start it the normal way, right? Normally I start with our culture moment. We will be having a culture moment, but I couldn't let another, again, it's all about the moments, right? Can't let another moment pass. Last night we had a great event right up here in this room. I want to thank my team leaders, my rainmakers who showed up for us last night, and all of my people who came to visit with the teams. I had some great feedback from people. There were great conversations that happened. You all are building businesses, and part of building businesses is leverage, is finding the right fit, is trying to navigate your place in the real estate world and what's the best way for you to build that business. So our rainmakers gave 2 hours of their time. We had guests throughout that time, lots of good conversations about what it is to run a team or what it is to be on a team. So I'm really grateful for the time. Rainmakers, you'll be getting an email from us later today that gives you a little bit more information in terms of how to kind of next steps with us. So if there are people that you were really interested in, I know some of you have already connected already. If you need KPAs that go out, if you need any other supports in terms of career visioning, talk to us. We're happy to support that conversation. That's what last night was for. So again, thank you guys for a great event, for everybody who supported putting it on. I really appreciate that. All right. I'm gonna give the slides over to Miss Tina Reddick for a quick moment to do some celebrations and recognition.
Okay, I'll be honest, I don't know how to switch this.
Oh, I will help you. I've learned.
Super honest.
There we go.
Okay, well, we are all about, our event yesterday was about growing teams and developing teams, and so we want to welcome Emily, who is Terry Lewis's newest assistant. Congrats, I'm Terry, on building your team. That's amazing. And we have a couple other, you guys, we have had an incredible kind of growth spurt. 2 days. 2 days. 2 days we have brought on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. So we have had an incredible little growth spurt here. So I want to welcome Jordan, who is new with us.
Have pictures, so if you guys see these people around, please welcome them.
And Callie, who just joined us. And then we also have Salazar, Jordan, Daniela, Janelle, and then we are bringing back. Raise your hand, Zach. Awesome. We're really excited about it. So just remember, if you have anybody who is interested in getting into real estate, you can send them my way. I'm happy to have the conversation with them. I know you guys have probably seen, if you've sent me any referrals yet, like I make sure to let you know where we are in the process and kind of keep you updated as that goes by. But I'm happy to facilitate those conversations with you.
And thank you as always for your referrals.
Always.
Okay.
Congratulations to first closings, which is also super exciting. AJ George, Yasir Ismail, and Carly Tate.
That's Carly right there. Because it's never just about joining us, it's always about building your business, which rolls us into our mission moment, which right here. There you go.
Okay. I am like super ultra mega excited about this, if you can't tell. We are, so if you don't know Jessica Starr, she is a mega agent out of Connecticut. I was on a small Zoom with them last week where they were talking about this class that they were gonna have that was all about investing. And it was geared towards if you had never invested before, how to start, and then how to triple your wealth in 3 years, which is what Jessica Starr had done. She was throwing out terms like, I have 2 investment properties, but she was throwing out terms that I had never even heard of and didn't understand. And this class is totally designed for this. It's a 3-part series. The first one is this Thursday, and we're going to be zooming it up here in this room from 1 to 3. And then it's the following 2 Thursdays after that. I know it says 1 to 2, but it's actually 1 to 3. So, well,
Just pretend you're in Maine.
we'll figure it out. We're gonna get you the right time. But here's the deal. If this class is valuable in thousands of ways, but here are the 3 that I think are the most important. If you're ever considering investing, this is a class to jumpstart you. If you are currently an investor, this is a class to elevate you to the next level. And if you have clients that are current investors or who are looking to get investing, just think about like the knowledge and that you can now share with them. I was blown away by like just the intro class. I was like feverishly taking notes, and they would like throw out these little nuggets like, oh, let's talk about segregation cost studies. And I was like, what? Give me more. And then they're like, it'll be in the class. So come to the class. If you can't come to all of them, that's fine. At least come to the ones that you can. You're definitely going to pick up some info that you can either use yourself or pass on to somebody else. So we'll be up here zooming it live, and then think about when we're done, we can create a little like wealth mastermind group, and we can all become super ultra mega wealthy and leave a legacy. So I'm really, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm super excited about it. So
Okay, and also we just did confirm, thank you, Kathleen, that time is correct, 12 to 2. So
Okay,
plan to
so I
be
don't know,
here
I'm
at 12 to 2. It's all good. And you guys, the reason we wanted to call this out as your mission moment is that we saw the growth in people raising their hand to get into this industry. We saw the success of people closing deals and building their business to get into this industry. And we talk about this being a great career and a great life, not just a great day. And part of building that is understanding how you build your wealth and what you do. So super excited about this opportunity in terms of our mission and vision. This is leaving a legacy, right, for you and your family. So thank you for bringing the opportunity to our attention. Super glad we were able to capitalize on it. Join us Thursday at noon. All right. Awesome. Yeah.
Can we zoom this from home?
So there is that opportunity. It is a fee course. So we've paid the fee for all of us. So if you choose to, you certainly can. We just took it upon us we wanted to bring this to as many people as we possibly can. So we put the course for it. All right. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. All right. So we're gonna keep rolling here with John Shipley, because again, when you're in a big business, you need people to watch your back. And that's what she does, right?
Yay, Dawn.
Yay, Dawn.
Awesome. Couple quick reminders for you guys, just to keep you on top of things. So GMR dues, deadlines are there. No surprises. So remember that we're in the month of claiming your discount. So you've got 28 days left to get your $25 discount. Every day, that way you can put it towards investing in after you take the class.
Love that.
And then reminder that we've got the compliance phone number for questions. Couple of other things. So there was an email that went out recently from the WRA so if you are a real estate professional who is drafting leases, so not using something that was pre-drafted that you're just filling in, but somebody who's like actually drafting a lease, or if you are drafting property management agreements, please reach out to Sarah directly, because there's a certain level of oversight and just keeping an eye of things that brokerages need to do. So we need to make sure if you're somebody who's doing that, just reach out to Sarah so that she can connect about like how best to communicate about that. I don't know if it's not if you're owning rental properties and just like filling out a lease for a new person, but if you're actually providing services for a client, their property manager, just reach out to Sarah. Any questions about that? Okay. You're allowed to have rental properties without reaching out to Sarah. So don't reach out to Sarah and say, I have a rental property, but if you're providing property management services and drafting those agreements. And then you might have noticed in the in zip forms, there is an update to all of the forms on this list here. So the residential offer to purchase, the farm offer to purchase, vacant land, condominium. There's now a wire fraud warning that has been added to the end of the form, just above the signature line. So if you're somebody who puts templates into zip forms with your own language, just know that form is updated. You double check your templates, make sure that everything's, I know we're updating a lot and often, but just double check your templates to make sure that everything is where it should be, because that has been updated again. Any questions about that? That's all I got.
Oh my God.
all
All
I got
right.
today. Short and sweet.
Short, sweet, and powerful. And one of the things that I want to call out on that is the compliance line. You guys, we've got a team that does connect with you on a regular basis. If you reach out and you don't hear from them, reach out again, because then something's wrong with their system. Check your texts, check your voicemails. It all works. And if it doesn't, we'll fix it. But what's that number, Don?
Oh, 262-333-28.
20, oh, good job. 333-2018 if you need it, okay? Awesome. And one of the great ways to use Dawn and her services is to write a lot of contracts. One of the best ways to write a lot of contracts is to use our marketing services. How about Tanya today?
So just a quick reminder about our marketing concierge services. So this is all found on our KW Realty MKE.com website. Right at the top of the website, you'll see marketing concierge. You can click in there. All of the ordering is really easy to order. You fill out a form, you upload your information, like your website and your headshot, and then what you want to be ordered, and they'll make it for you. So it is free for you to order. And it's free for us to design it for you. You would just pay for any printing costs that you want to incur to print out these materials, okay? And then also there's this grab and go marketing assets. So if you're looking for social media posts, or you want to create your own postcard, maybe around the graphic that we use, you can come in. This is all inside the Agent Hub space. So on the KW Realty MKE website, go into your Agent Hub. And then if you scroll down to tech and marketing resources, you'll see marketing assets at the bottom. And that's where that grab and go assets are. So there's a lot of social media posts in there that you can steal and use and put on your sites. And then here's just a preview of some of the events postcards that are going to be released. So we have our Buck schedule. We have local pumpkin patches. And coming soon, we'll have the Milwaukee trick or treat schedule. This should be out either the end of this week or beginning of next week. So confirm a few things as well. And all of those are going to be made into smart plans as well. So make sure you're using the smart plan library to send those emails out to your database. We launched the new KW Realty MKE website platform a week or two ago. If you're still having trouble accessing the Agent Hub, some people have had success by going and clicking on sign up with Google and using your KW email. I've tried it where I just went into login and then hit reset password using my KW email. I think a couple of people have had success in various ways. I would click all the buttons until you get in. And then for tech training for the month of October, coming up this week, we're doing database cleanup and DTD2. This is the session we like to always have right before Bold begins. So you can kind of get in there, get your databases cleaned up and ready to go all in when you're at Bold.
I just about the password reset. So my link, the original link expired.
Okay.
And then when I asked for a new link, I just never received, like it just never came. I checked spam and everything. So maybe we just need to set something up separately to figure out why I'm.
Yeah, or you can try the sign up piece of it.
Okay.
Instead of the login, go into the sign up screen. There's kind of like two ways to toggle that when you're in there. So
I'll
give
try
that a shot too. And then for the rest of the month, we're doing things like dominate your farm in 3 years, the 7th level open house, and how to grow your database using parties like home warming parties for your clients when they buy a house. So.
Here he comes right down the middle of the aisle, our guest for today, Mr. Charlie Stelle. He's gonna give you some information. I don't have a purple hat for him to wear today, but I'm sure he will.
So one question for you. Whether it's this stuff or any of this stuff that Kathleen talked about on marketing, is despite what the industry gives you, how do you ultimately determine the outcome you're in? Yeah. Yeah. Activities in what way? Yep. And here's what I want you to think about. As of this morning, the market was down year to date 20%. Around 20%. And yet there are some people in this down 20% market who have doubled or tripled their income. I know it because I see the incomes every month. In the middle, we get a top-down report, and I see exactly what people make. Like I like to check in to see where people are and where it is that they're at, or where we can help course correct. Because a lot of people have recency bias that they think they're a $200,000 income earner, and then year to date, I've seen they've only made $45,000, and I'm like, "Ooh, I hope they're paying attention. Let's check in here and course correct." Right? My point to the story is this: there are people that are making more money this year than they ever have, despite an industry that's down 10%. The difference between those that control the outcome to their income and those that allow the market to dictate their income, the intensity and frequency in which they attack their marketing plan and they attack their database. The intensity and frequency in which they attack their marketing plan and they attack their database is ultimately what will determine the outcome of your income. I'm just being honest with you. Cool? So I would highly encourage you to lean into what it is that Lindsay and Kathleen have built and how you can set it up for like the 12 Direct campaign. It's really simple. Once a month, your clients are going to get 12 Direct, whether it's, hey, go check out Lindner's Farm for pumpkins right down the street in New Berlin. By the way, I went there on Sunday. Throwback pumpkin patch. But lots of ways in which that you can amplify the intensity and frequency of how you touch your database in 2024. It's something I want you thinking about heading into next year. Cool? All right, so what are we seeing? Showing time, and I'm going to give this to you on a weekly basis, and in about a week or two, I'll come back with giving you a bit more of a macro picture of where we are. But what you're going to see right now is the trends within the data that we're looking at over the last 6 months on a weekly basis. So here we go. Showing time activity. What you can see here, we're following the seasonal nature of where showings go at this time of year. Okay, things are starting to slow down. However, here's the good news. The good news is we're still outpacing where we were last year in 2022. Okay, so there's still more showing activity in the market than there was last year, but we're definitely behind where we were in 21 and 20, just not like significantly. And if you follow where we are in October, like there's nothing within the data that says that the world is or the sky is falling. It's falling what it normally does in the fall, and it's still outpacing where it was last year. To me, that's a good thing, right? Let's take a look at sales absorption rates. And this is in the data today. There's good news and bad news. Not good news. I think there's good news and there's opportunities to pay attention to, okay, which will make some more sense here in a second. Sales absorption rates. For a quick point of clarification, sales absorption rates is the total percentage of inventory that goes under contract in a given week. Okay, over the last 6 months, you can see the last 6-month average is 11% of the inventory on any given week goes under contract. Okay, but if you look back over the last 4 to 5 weeks, you can see we've been trending below the 6-month trend line. Now, part of that is what's the inverse correlation to where rates have been going? Up. Okay. Now, here's the good news and bad news piece of it. Bad news is we're starting to see how rates are ticking up is starting to have an impact on demand. I would then say though, this isn't like an alarm bell situation. It's actually potentially a healthy situation to help alleviate some of the pressure on the supply side. Stay with me here for a second. I'll help you. So we're starting to see some of the trend line where we're seeing some of the softness where buyers are starting to cry a little bit of uncle. Like this is a little bit of tale of two different stories because showing time activity is telling us that people are still going out at paces above and beyond where they were last year, despite there's less inventory. But yet fewer of the homes are going under contract when they were from where they were the last 6 months. So something I'm kind of paying attention to is to like, okay, what's going to happen here as we head into like later into October, later into November, later into December, and how does this set us up for November? Not sure yet because it's all relatively new data and new trends. So we're going to have to see how this plays out over time. Now, units going under contract. Good news scenario, okay? Latest 6 months and latest 24 weeks, 438 units have gone under contract, okay? That's the weekly average. If you look back at the last 3 to 4 weeks, 410, 441, 393. And if you go back to even some of the data when you looked at like May, you're looking at like 450 on that. So like deals are still transacting. Homes that are coming to the market are still happening. Yes, we've seen some softness because of we've had more units that have come onto the market than have come off to the market versus what we've seen in the last 6 months. Again, I don't think it's an alarm bells thing, but I think it is helping alleviate one thing, and you'll see here in a second. Now, new units that have gone under contract, new units that have come to the marketplace, okay? This is the thing that has remained relatively pretty stable. Over the last 6 weeks, we've averaged 569 new units that have come onto the market on any given week. If you look back at the last 3 to 4 weeks, you saw 490, 590, 525, 545. Like that's pretty healthy. So I'm going to go back and say, all right, roughly averaging around 400 units that have gone under contract. We're seeing around 550 that have come on the market. How does this correlate as to what is available on a total inventory standpoint? Oh, it's got, here, I'm going to jump ahead here. It's improved and improving. Okay. Here's the beautiful thing about this that I think we need to reframe our mindset is we've operated in an environment where there's been about less than 2 months of supply of total inventory. Again, 6 months of supply of inventory is a balanced market. Like we're seeing some signs of some pressure valves releasing, and this is where we're going to get into situations, I believe, this fall where we're going to have to right-size expectations on both the stores and the lifestyle. Okay, and I'll give you an example of that. I talked to an agent this morning that listed a home in Oconomowoc for $400,000. The home has been on the market for 13 days. Okay, the market average for a $400,000 home in Waukesha County, the days on market is 28 days. The seller is freaking out. The agent is freaking out. And it's going back and understanding some of this may prolong a little bit, but that's not the end of the world, guys. It's just helping them understand where we are and where the market's going in order to right-size expectations, and we're being proactive in our communication to it versus 48 hours in, you don't have an accepted offer, and you're about to get fired. Now, how do I know this is happening? This is expired listings in the market. Okay? 2 lessons here. Lesson number 1. Too bad Jeff and Joe aren't here. Although Jeff, hopefully, he had a great wedding this weekend. I know he got married. Expired listings are at an all-time high in 2023 on a weekly basis, and you can see what the trend line is. It's going up. Okay? The reason why I called out Jeff and Joe is there's a real opportunity to be the second listing agent in the marketplace. Okay? The other piece of this is what I just talked about, is we have to be really good as listing agents when we bring inventory to the market, is to right-sizing expectations on the front side so you don't become a part of the expired listings. Does that make sense? So The third piece I'd say about this is if you haven't considered how you diversify your lead generation strategies, or you haven't considered what it looks like to maybe tap into lead generating around expired listings, now would be a very good time to start. Because here's what I also know. Scott, I'll just pick on you. When do most listing contracts end?
When do they end?
Yeah.
End of the year.
December 31st. So do you think this trend line is going to get better or worse? Well, depending on perspective. Do you think it's going to go up in terms of number of expired listings, or down in the number of expired listings between now and December 31st? It's going to go up. So I think there's opportunity in the marketplace to be number two. I think there's opportunity as the first listing agent to making sure that you're right-sizing expectations of being the economist of choice for your clients, to help educate them as to where we are in the market, where the market's going. Okay, prices are still appreciating. And so what I would be doing is having front side conversations to say, look, this may take longer than you are used to or what the media is telling you. However, here's what I know. It's going to be okay. Prices are still appreciating 11% so far year to date in southeastern Wisconsin. You will be fine. It's just with the rate environment we're seeing, things are taking a little bit longer, and that's okay. I still believe with our plan or what it is that you do or what your value proposition is, we're going to give you the right return on your investment. Make sense? However it is that you spin that in order to make it your own is the words that you use. Cool? So that's what I know. Okay? Yes, Tony.
Are we also seeing longer average days in the market? I'm experiencing it personally, with our listings.
Yeah.
Exactly what you just said. Instead of getting offers in 72 hours, it's now going to achieve 3 weeks that we're waiting for offers to come in. Is it just me, or is that something that we're seeing kind of across the board, longer days on market?
So I'll have more robust access to that data once September's closing out as to like what the real true impact of that is. Days on market is going up, and part of the reason why I know that is like, yes, the showing activity, it's still healthy compared relative to prior years. But if you just simply look at the trend line of where it's going at this time of year, like activity is slowing down, which should correlate in days on market. And that's not a fun like this. The beautiful thing about this graph and showing it to your clients is that's not a function of the market. This is 4 years of data to show you this is the seasonal nature of it. Right? Like, oh look, here's Thanksgiving. Oh look, here's Christmas. Like activity is going to slow, which means things are going to take longer. And it's not just a this year thing, it's an every year. You guys know that, but they don't know that because they only care about the one window in time when they decide to sell.
Yeah, what we've noticed, or what I've noticed, is that it's more about the house now. Meaning, if you have a nice house, it's like low price, well, it's gonna sell really fast. But if you don't, it's gonna sit there, and that's not been the case for list anything. So it's really about having that conversation again, where it does matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what we do for it to get it ready.
What else? What other questions? Yeah, Barry Lewis.
The last couple of weeks, I've noticed a difference just since the price reductions. I was wondering if you that has listed in Washington County, 50, 450, or so they both offers. I mean, it goes to what Scott said, to a very firm. I just found
I did the multiple offers, but they were like less than 5. But they were good offers. Eddie's not here, our fire specialist, but he's got quite a few offers in Washington County, all or at asking price with seller concession. So yeah, I'm sure we got this right now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's being real that like the closer I think, and Gustavo, you can probably chime in here. I don't know if John's like, I think the more rates get closer to 8%, like that seems to be even more so that like as they creep to 6, didn't have a major impact. As they creep to 7, I thought people would be freaking out. Didn't really have a major impact. Now they've crossed the threshold to like 7.6%. That seems to have been when like activity. Now, granted, it's also happening at the time of year where activity would normally slow, so it's a compounding effect. And we just have to get back to like right-sizing people's expectations of where we are in the market at the moment and being true to your process and system as to how do you approach it in order to get what they want. Because people are still getting what they want, even if it takes longer. It's just helping them understand that like we'll still get there. Don't put the panic button yet. Although more people are putting the panic button than ever before. So that's where we're going to have to manage the expectations on the front side. So it's that they don't freak out.
I also want to revisit what we talked about back in March, April. We had a conversation about bumpers. All of them were designed around helping bring seeds to market. I would invite you guys to take this information and look at out there. Is there an offer that might help them understand opportunity out there if they see us as what they want? And then how do you think about MOFRs for your listing clients who want to sell and making things look the way they want? I'm just inviting you guys to revisit that too. Got all of these different levers to pull. And the way it looks like now.
And I think the silver lining in all of it, that like I think everyone would appreciate, is a little bit of release on the pressure valve from an inventory standpoint. And that if this keeps trending in this direction, this isn't an overly bad thing as we head into next spring market, because who knows where the rate environment will be by next March or April. But like, you look at it and say, you know what, if we can set ourselves up that there's more available options for the gluttony of people that are still trying to get into the market, for those that can afford to get into the market, could set us up for a really nice year, despite what happens with everything else. So I'm pretty bullish on like where it is. It's just right sizing expectations and making people realize that like operating with 1 month of supply is not a healthy market. You know, like it's okay. These are just moments of time in which the market then course corrects or correlates it. Yeah.
So there's also a good time for you to talk to your partner, because I have a group now where we're actually talking about, hey, how can we use W price, how can we use the benefit of both the buyer and the seller? So the programs are out there, like 2-1 programs where benefit the buyers so I haven't actually dropped the price, and then I still that win for everybody. Programs that were not so much during the last 4 months, but other are
Cool. Questions? Comments?
One last thing I'll say is that people do business with us they know, like, and trust. And if your house or your listing is going to take a little bit longer, your buyers are going to take a little bit longer. Trust is built. And I have this conversation with us. You guys are looking at your programs, your follow-up, how you're engaged with people. What used to happen in a weekend may now take a week or 2 or 3. Put systems in place. Create some ongoing conversations. Absent you leave that conversation, will fill in their gap with their own story. They fill in the gap with their own story. It's not always the best thing for you to look at. So you're managing that communication.
There you go. Last thing is Old Coming Starts next week, the 11th. If you're one of the 91 people who've raised their hand and are taking the course, awesome. It'll be fantastic. If you're not one of the 91 people, totally cool. Come hang out with us next week, Wednesday at the Zoo Conference Center from like 8:30 to 1-ish and see if it's something for you. Here's what I know. There will be 100+ people in that room. If you want to take it, great. If you don't want to take it, great. I'm not here to sell you on it. Just let you know it will be great. And life's about choices. So stay tuned for Bold that's coming up. October training calendar, handful of things I do want to call out and point out. We talked a little bit about first step to Bold being on the 11th. Then there is a 1-week gap. And then we start full bore 100% 100 miles an hour starting on the 25th. Bold will be on Wednesdays, then every week, the successive following weeks. Cool. Couple other things. Scott, there's some of the budget masterminds and intro to budget planning on Thursday the 12th. Friday the 20th, for those that get the Maureen and Friends invite, will be in person at the Innovation Office. So mark that down. It won't be via Zoom this month. It'll be in person at the Innovation Office. And then the Operations and Admin Mastermind will be on the 27th, the morning of the 27th. Lastly, 2 other things. If it's not on your radar already, and I'm not sure it's in here. One, Friday, December 1st is the KW holiday party at the St. Kate's Art Hotel in downtown Milwaukee. Should be a rip-roaring good time. It always, put it this way, on Saturday morning after the holiday party, I get the link to the photo booths. And then I go through and identify who had the best time. And you can tell, the photo booth tells all. But it's a fun event. It's a really fun evening with your peers, spouses, partners, girlfriends, boyfriends, whoever is all invited. So save the date there. And then lastly, this has not been public yet, but I'll plant a little seed for you. I am personally planning a special event on December 7th. Okay? It will be downtown at the War Memorial. It will be a morning session, and I'm bringing friends of mine from across the country to come in to pour into you. Okay? If you want to be there. December 7th. Really cool people, really cool insights. And my goal of it is for those that are coming out of Bold, it'll help set yourself up for heading into the holiday season. For those that aren't in Bold, that's totally cool. You're still welcome on the 7th. And my plan is to help springboard you into 24 and not where you took November and December off and all of a sudden you show up in January and you're like, sweet, what's going on? Okay. 3 or 4 guest speakers. 3 of the 4 are already confirmed. I'm just waiting on 1 additional person. And December 7th at the War Memorial from like 8:30 to noon-ish. More details forthcoming. Cool? Beautiful. With that, Pete.
Cool. And you know, one of the things that always greatly, Jen, are the events that we put on here. So huge thank you to Zach Shipley and his team for organizing this year's trunk or treat. Marketing is all created. We have about 10, 16 maybe, not sure. A bunch of people will be here on the 14th to celebrate trunk or treat with decorated trunk or treat cars. Bring your people, invite your sphere. It's a great opportunity to touch your database and have conversations. And then also the next event that we planned is Pi Day. So I know registrations have closed for that. If you didn't raise your hand for that, contact us if you're still interested. I'm looking at Katie, who organized this last year, and she's, oh no, don't look at me. But it's another an amazing opportunity to celebrate with your clients and have conversations. We hear over and over again that these kind of events generate the opportunity to put you in front of business, right? So people will come and they'll say things like, oh, right, my cousin said that they needed to get in touch with the realtor. If you're not there and top of mind, that doesn't come to you. And if you are, it does. So take advantage of these opportunities for you and your business. And then Charlie's already mentioned our holiday party, which we look forward to seeing you all at. And that wraps our team meeting for this week. Does anybody else have anything good for the cause? Okay, then I'm gonna put one last plug in. For the last week, Jeff Nevins came up and shared the listings that we put out and made a plug for checking that sheet. If there's any deal to be had within KW, it'd be a great opportunity to connect your buyers and your sellers. Make sure you know how to do that. That information comes out weekly and is available on the new site that Kathleen talked about earlier today. Go get some great business. You are all released from the wilds. Have a great day. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo.
So I just.